What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So the war words have heated up between undefeated, unified three-belt WBC, WBA, IBF, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top two, if not number one, definitely top five best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. has 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, and undefeated, three-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the number one best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout, 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. With that said, Errol Spence directly didn't have anything to say, but his close friend and member of his team, and Jason Isom, he responded back to Team Crawford that started off with Terrence Crawford's sister taking to social media and absolutely going in on Errol Spence and atting Errol Spence with every single post that she put up on social media. And she was calling out Errol Spence, and she was saying that Errol Spence could send Terrence Crawford the contract. He can move the needle. If you don't know, if you've been under a rock, this past week and this past yesterday, it was reported that the Terrence Crawford-Errol Spence fight is all but dead for 2022, okay? And that it hit a snag for negotiations, and that they're now targeting the fight to take place in January, okay? December, maybe January. And Terrence Crawford reportedly agreed to all demands coming from Errol Spence's side, even as far as to take a 65-35 split in favor of Errol Spence. No back end money, no guarantee money, just simply banking on himself. And Terrence Crawford personally told me that he has accepted everything, and that his team, that being Errol Spence, don't want to make the fight happen. Okay? So now yesterday we get the news that it's all but done. It's not going to happen, right? The target date was November 19th, and now it's not going to happen. Okay? And so with that said, it's looking bleak. So Team Crawford, she took to social media, Letitia, Terrence Crawford's sister, and she had a lot to say. And she stated that if Errol Spence truly wanted to make the fight happen, he could push to make the fight happen, right? And he could send Terrence Crawford a contract to assure that this fight happened, okay? And this is what she had to say, right? She says this, and Terrence Crawford backed it up, and it got a little testy, right? First, she started off by saying, pointing the finger, which I reported that essentially that they don't want to make the fight happen. Okay. Then she stated that y'all got to stop making videos off my tweets. I'm just an angry fan. What I say is my words only. I'm just frustrated like everyone else. I don't know what's going on with the negotiations. I'm not his manager, but I can see what PBC is doing, and I'm not going to be quiet, right? So she's going in, right? And she says this: if Errol Spence really wants to fight Terrence Crawford, he can make it happen because he is his own boss, right? With the question marks. The delusional people need to wake up and pay attention, right? Then she goes on to say, we got one that's hiding behind his advisor, and we got one that's trying to put other fighters against him first. Make it make sense. She's referring to the comments made by three-time junior middleweight world champion, who currently is the undisputed junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jamel Lyons Only Charlo, who recently stated that Terrence Crawford needs to move up to 154, and when he moves up to 154, he needs to challenge 154-pound title contender and former foe in Erickson and Hammer Lubin. Okay? Now, then she goes on to say, okay, I'm done for the day. Y'all have a great day, right? But it didn't end there, because Terrence Crawford sister and team comments was met by this. Quote, my brother Jason Isom of Team Spence, he says, quote, his partner's sister's cousin, uncle, mama, or trainer ain't going to be able to do nothing, I'm paraphrasing, to help him once the bell rings. Mark my words, all this goof trip stuff, paraphrasing, they on, just going to make it worse for the one that got to get in the ring for real. Okay? Terrence Crawford, he responds by saying, and putting up his accomplishments. I'm a world title, check mark. Unified champ, check mark. Undisputed champ, check mark. 3-weight division champion, check mark. Fight of the year, check mark. ESPY award winner, check mark. #1 fighter in the world, check mark. Hall of Famer, question mark. 38 wins, no losses, 29 wins by way of knockout. Need I say more? Mic drop. Okay? So that's what Terrence Crawford responded by saying. Now, what's interesting, again, like I stated, is that it got a little more testy. Terrence Crawford was responding to the fans, right? He said this: like it or love it, but it's in the history books, and there's nothing you can do or say to change it. Don't like on your mama because she didn't, I'm going to paraphrase that, obviously. And then, so it's going back and forth. It's getting heated. So Terrence Crawford's sister, Letitia, she's saying that she's just an angry fan, just like everybody else, and she's frustrated. But she can clearly see what's going on. Okay. And she can clearly see that they're trying to give Terrence Crawford the short end of the stick. She goes on to say this: at Errol Spence, tell your daddy, Al Heyman, you want to come out and play, period. Right? So she's still going on, right? And like I said, she said that if Errol Spence really wanted to fight, he can make it happen because he's his own boss, right? Question mark. So Terrence Crawford is on record, as he told me personally, that he knows that Errol Spence wants to make the fight happen. Okay, he stated that he understands that Errol Spence wants to make this fight happen, and it's simply the powers that be behind the scenes. His team, they don't want to make the fight happen. Okay, they're holding off on making the fight happen. And she also came out and she stated that, his team is preventing the fight from happening because they're trying to protect the O, and they don't want Terrence Crawford to become undisputed in 2 separate weight classes. Again, like I said, we know it's abundantly clear Errol Spence is not hesitant to make this fight happen at all whatsoever. Okay. And, it's simply, to me, the powers that be are just not trying to value Terrence Crawford, period. When it comes to Errol Spence didn't make the shirts and call out Terrence Crawford and say he wanted to fight Terrence Crawford and say he was coming for his belt next. because he's hesitant to make the fight happen. Again, like I said, it's the powers that be. Don't value the fight. Don't think it's a big enough fight to pay the purses that these fighters are demanding, period. Whether it be Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. Because let's say Errol Spence was asking for $20 million. Well, they don't want to pay Errol Spence $20 million and then have to pay Terrence Crawford whatever number he's looking for. Let's say he's looking for $10 million. Right? They rather, take that pot and pay Errol Spence and then pay Terrence Crawford less money. It's just sad that Errol Spence fought April 16th, Arlington, Texas, unification bout against Yordenis Ugas. Dominated, won the belts. That's 6 months ago. Today is October 2nd as of right now. That fight took place April 16th, and Errol Spence has let us know that they was in the works of planning to make the fight happen with Terrence Crawford even before that fight. Okay? They did business with the PBC, that being Terrence Crawford with the Sean Porter fight, his last fight. Both guys are inactive. If neither one of them fight this year, that means Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fought twice in 3 years. Errol Spence's situation is different because of injuries. Suffered a horrific car accident that had him out for 14 months. Suffered the eye injury that had him out for over a year. So 2020, he fought Danny Garcia. This year, he fought Ugas. Terrence Crawford fought 2020 Kell Brook. 2021, Sean Porter. 2022, he didn't step in the ring. It's the business. I'm not pointing the finger at who's right and who's wrong, because I don't even care. But the business of the sport of boxing is standing in the way of this giant fight and these two giants and their legacies, period. Point blank and period. These two legacies are being halted up by these two giants, by the business of the sport of boxing. It's a legacy fight for both guys. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out moving forward. The promotion for this fight is already done. The build-up for the fight, it's already done. It's done. It's cooked already. It's just ready to be served up to the fans for their legacy and for the fans. And it needs to happen ASAP. Period. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out moving forward. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.